Hello and welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me live and, of course, on the replay. Wherever you may be catching this, let me know you're here so that I can send you some love and, of course, answer any questions that you might have. My name is Cindy Van Arnhem. I am a possibilitarian and I am devoted to unity consciousness, wealth, and the reclaiming of your personal power. And I work within an organization that our mission is to nurture a vortex of possibility that leads us all on this pathway to unity consciousness. So welcome to Playful Prosperity. The possibilities around wealth, around money, a conversation to open us up to what's possible. And I was having a conversation this morning with Joy Kingsborough, my business partner, and we were really diving into the concept of how much we like to complicate things, how much we like to make it harder than it actually is. And this has been one of my biggest growth especially in the last year, is really understanding how simple it can be. And you've heard me say it time and time again, there is no fucking mountain. No fucking mountain. But we like to make mountains, and that's how our minds operate. But we can make it fun in coming back to the simplicity of things, coming back to the ease of how easy it can actually be. So you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again because sometimes we all need a reminder. There are only 3 things that you need in order to be successful. Whatever success looks like for you, doesn't matter. Your definition of success is completely different than mine, than anybody else's. So 3 things to help you reach success. Number 1, you need to know who you are. Now, there are many different pathways to figuring this out: self-exploration, personality assessments, etc., etc. My personal favorite, as you probably know, is quantum numerology. Quantum numerology, I've taken all the personality assessments. I've done them all. You name it, I've probably taken a look at it. But numerology had so much accuracy. And not only that, but I remember the first time I ever received a numerology reading from Joy, I sat there and I was in awe, but I also had this sense of remembering. I could feel in my body the truth of it. And I knew how accurate it was because my whole body was just singing, yes, 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 this is who you are. So many of you know my story, but as I was growing up, as I was in my early 20s, moving into late 20s, I was on a mission to find out who I was. I was seeking answers outside of myself. I was looking everywhere and I was lost. I had no clue who I was. And 5 years ago, I was introduced to Joy Kingsborough and I started listening to her speak about numerology. Now, I am not someone who's woo-woo. I am very much love to play in the physical world. I like to see evidence. I like to see the results. I like to see the things that we create land in the physical world. So at that time, I was very much only in the physical world. I had no concept of the quantum field. I had no concept of the science behind things, maybe a little bit, but I didn't really understand it. And I remember when she shared her numerology with me, I sat there in shock for probably 2 hours after the call of this deep, deep knowing that this was who I was. So if you have not received a numerology reading, I highly recommend that you reach out, grab one from me or any of our certified numerologists. We'd be happy to connect you with somebody who would be an amazing fit for that. But this is really about understanding who you are and what's possible in your quantum mathematical code. Everything in our world, everything in our universe is a number. So are you. You're more than a number, but you are a number. You have this unique, complex mathematical code that shows you what's possible for you, that shows you where you might trip up, but also shows you where you can lean into possibility. And that's what happened for me. At the time, I was working as a virtual assistant, working behind the scenes, getting shit done. That was my nickname, the get shit done girl. You name it, Cindy, just message Cindy, she'll fix it for you. That was what was going on. And I was very caught up in the physical world. I was chasing money. I was struggling. I was fighting. I was living PayPal to PayPal. Things were hard because I was so focused on the physical. And when I received my numerology report, I recognized first and foremost the leadership capabilities that I have and the fact that I am a speaker. I am meant to be expressing myself. And I wasn't, because I was behind the scenes. I was behind my computer 17 hours a day, 7 days a week, just doing the things. And I wasn't expressing and speaking. And so I leaned into it. And for those of you who know, shortly afterwards, I did my very first Facebook Live. It was awkward as all hell. And I just kept going. And it opened me up to the possibility of maybe I could be a speaker. And from there, I started speaking on stages. I started speaking regularly. As you know, I've got several different shows that I do live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm all over the place. But the idea of that before I saw my numerology was it wasn't even a possibility until I saw my numerology. And then I was like, oh, maybe I could. Maybe I could take a leap of faith. Maybe now that I understand and remember who I am, I could possibly lean into that. And I chose to. I chose to lean into it. And here we are today. All right, so that's step number 1. Know who you are. Step number 2, know what you want. Now, here's another one that can trip us up time and time again, because so often we're programmed to want what our parents want for us, to want what our significant other wants for us, to be so focused on your kids that we forget what we want. We've been programmed by society to be producers, go to work, get a good job, go to school, get a good job, work for 40 years, retire, get the gold watch, blah, 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 blah. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's a story. It's programming. We need to go to that place so deep inside of us where no one else's voice can come in and really feel the truth of what it is that we want. So again, bringing it back to my story, I had been following the T. Harv Ekers, the Brendan Bouchards, the Darren Hardys of the world. I was the get shit done girl. I knew every single productivity hack in the world, I think. I've read about all of them. And I followed them. I went to Brendan Bouchard's events. I went to T. Harv Ekers events. I was signed up for his Quantum Leap program. That was a year-long program. I did all of it. And yet still, I didn't understand what I wanted. I thought I wanted to model myself after these major productivity people. I thought that's who I wanted to be. That was the definition of success to me. And it was all bullshit. That's not what I wanted. I don't want to be Brendan Bouchard. I don't want to be T. Harv Eker or Darren Hardy or any of them. I don't want to be Tony Robbins. That's not what it's about. What I want is unity consciousness. And how we get there is together. But it took me some time to get all the other voices out of my head, including my own ego, and to come into that place in the heart that screams at me in a very loving way. This is what we want. The pathway to unity. This is what we want. Wealth in more than just finances, but wealth in relationships and connection and community and vitality and health and self-love and unity. I'm just covered in goosebumps when I think about that. But we need to go to that place in ourselves where there's no judgment for wanting what we want, where we can just have whatever the fuck we want. That's the place we need to go to. So step number 1, know who you are. If you don't know that yet, awesome. Reach out to a numerologist. Reach out to me. I'll connect you with a numerologist. You start there. If you know who you are, but you're not sure where you want, what you want, excellent. Reach out to me. BrainGAME helps you land into what you want. It helps you get very clear on that pathway. It helps you turn off all the exterior noise and come straight into your heart. And you don't hear the judgments anymore. And you can get very, very clear on what you want. What you want. Step number 3. Why do you want it? Very, very important. And again, I'm going to bring it back to there is no fucking mountain. So I had received my numerology. I was leaning into the possibility of who I was. I was really exploring that and getting very curious. I knew what I wanted, but I wasn't really entirely certain as to why I wanted it, why it was so deeply ingrained in me. And instead of leaning into why I wanted it and into the feeling state of it, remember, I was very attached to the physical world, I started doing okay, well, how? So this is who I am. I'm a speaker. I'm all these things about my numerology. This is what I want. I want unity consciousness. So how do we get there? That's what the mind does. It creates the how. And so I started forcing, trying to control, trying to make things work, launching things in the world that weren't working. Nobody was seeing my videos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it felt freaking hard because the action doesn't come from what you want. The action comes from why you want it. So if you don't understand why it's so important that you want what you want, that's step number 3. So wherever you are at in your journey, if you know who you are, awesome. If you know what you want, awesome. Do you know why you want it? And not why you think you want it, but why. Can you wake up in the morning and instantly tap into the emotion of why you want what you want? Can you feel it in your body? Are you obsessed with it? Do you feel it all the time when you talk about it, when you express it, when you write about it, when you are dreaming about it? Can you feel it? And that's where we need to go next. So 3 things for success. Who are you? What do you want? Why do you want it? Once you know why you want it, inspired action happens. You don't have to think about it. It's easy. It's simple. There's no how. There's no fucking mountain. And you just move. But those are the 3 legs to the foundation of success. Who are you? What do you want? And why do you want it? And it is that simple. So many times I say this to my clients and they're like, it can't be that easy. It really is, but we forget. So bring it back to those 3 legs of your foundation and then take action from there. So the question for you today, are you willing to explore that? Are you willing to love yourself enough to take a leap of faith that it could be this simple and this easy? And if you don't believe that, awesome. In the meantime, borrow my belief or choose to move on. It's your choice. But I love you and I believe in you and I see your power. Bye for now.